All right, welcome back. It's Thursday and the vibe is still on. You know, I mentioned earlier we were on the word, I asked a question and I said, girls, you can answer that too because it's the Women's Month and we have a woman right here seated as our special guest gracing our screen. We have the person of Folake Ferreira or Ferreira. Yeah. She is the Chief Operating Officer of Allen and Grant, a leading HR and business advisory firm in Nigeria. She plays a key role in shaping workforce strategies, talent development, and organizational growth across industries. You're welcome to the show, and you look amazing.
Thank you.
All right, so let's kick start with the big picture right now. How would you describe the current workplace environment in Nigeria today?
Well, it's evolving. Things are not what it used to be, but things are not how it should be yet. So that's why this kind of event is also happening and will continue to happen. While we have gotten better, we are not where we should be, so that we can, play well with other players across the world.
Okay, so talking about the workplace outlook, you mentioned the event now, so the event is the workplace outlook, yeah. So now let's look at this angle. How are current, the old events and the old conversations around talking about job skills, talking about opportunities, talking about connections. What is the vision actually behind this workplace outlook?
Okay, thank you for that question. So the visioneer, there was this moment in 1992 where he stumbled upon an article and it talked about the kind of skills that will be relevant in 2030. And so that vision had been born as far back as that time.
1990.
Yeah, from that image.
Wow.
But then it became life in 2023 to bring, create a platform where conversations will happen about what do you need to do, no matter who you are, to be relevant in your space, whether as a business owner or as an employee, that kind of situation. So that's what led to that vision of the workplace outlook.
Oh, brilliant.
All right, let's talk about the economy, the current economic realities and affecting employment, business growth, and talent and demand in Nigeria. Yeah.
So in terms of the economic realities, honestly, a lot is happening and it's affecting business owners, it's affecting the employees themselves, is everybody. But then that's why you need to be at that event. There are conversations, there are dialogues that when you listen to, I remember in 2023, at when I attended the first event, and I was in the staff, there were some tips that kept me relevant for like 2-3 years from conversations I listened to in that particular, event. So those are the kind of tips that people are going to listen to and help them stay relevant, help them stay above, even the things that people feel, oh, there are challenges here and there. Yes.
Okay, thank you for that. That's brilliant and well said. Now, let's bring it down. Now, you mentioned tips that helped you within 2 and 3 years that you were able to make use of and and make you relevant in your field. Now, talking about the tips, we're talking about shift in industries.
Yes.
So, and we know technology is playing a very huge role and playing a huge part in today's world. Now, what sectors or which of the sectors are really experiencing these big shifts and why?
So honestly, every sector is affected because at the core of every business is technology. And technology is evolving on a rapid scale such that even though you might want to look at it and say, oh, it's the tech business, but behind every business, whether you are in healthcare, finance, entertainment, there is technology. So it's affecting things, the trend is changing, and if we don't keep up to it, will become irrelevant.
Earlier we talked about information overload, right?
Yes.
So, and a lot of information is actually out there every now and then, and sometimes a lot of youths and entrepreneurs find it very hard to keep up, all right? So, are Nigerian youths and professionals adapting? Do you think they're actually adapting enough with this information in healthcare, finance, and tech?
So adaptability, honestly, is not where it should be. Because when you look at the trend globally and where we are as even a continent, there's a lot for us to still achieve. There's a lot for us to still get by. But the adaptability on a scale, I can say we are coming up, but we still have a lot, to do. We still have a lot to do.
Talking about
And that's why the event is very important.
right? It's going to kind of like
Yeah.
hammer on that. That's brilliant.
Yes.
So now for organizations and leadership alike, the roles and organizations now, what responsibility do these organizations have in developing talent, in developing skills, especially in times like this, where practically people want to be isolated and be like, I'm my own boss, right? So what role does these organizations have to play in developing talent?
So one of the key roles for me at the core of every organization is the need to be innovative. Innovation is not just about, in the past probably innovation probably, you're trying to change your technology or not. Even the way you go about things must change as an organization, as an individual. You can't work from the angle of what you just used to know and say, this is what I will stay with. As an organization, you need to, like the individual, learn things, but be comfortable to unlearn things as things begin to change. Because if you don't, you can't relearn. And when you relearn, then you are able to innovate, to adapt to current trends. And then when the trend changes, you are comfortable enough to move away from it to something else. You don't stay stuck.
Well said, thank you.
All right, so let's talk about the workplace outlook of the event itself. Why is it important for professionals and business leaders to actually attend this event?
So that the event is such that, like I said earlier, the keynote speaker itself is someone you say is top notch in the country when it comes to economic trends. That's a good rate of Nairametrics. But beyond good rate, our panelists, we have about 10 panelists, different industries, such that the conversation is not even limited to a particular industry. They are from different sectors, enough to give you understanding of where you are, what you should be doing to remain relevant, but what you should also understand that relevance is not static. If you don't become comfortable to innovate your idea of relevance, you may become irrelevant very soon. So we have that session is loaded with different people that will bring, ideas to the table for you to get tips to go away with.
Oh, that being said, thank you so much for that. So talking about the workplace outlook now for professionals, for individuals, for talents, people that want to upskill, that want to upgrade and to evolve as the time goes by. So what day is this event happening? Let us have an information like tidbits on what to expect as well. What day is it happening like for the conference?
So it's happening live tomorrow.
Okay, live tomorrow. So
I'd like to shout out to our Muslim brothers and sisters.
Yeah, happy Eid.
It's complicated, but we understand, we appreciate you, we love you. But we are saying it's for everybody, and it's happening live at Mosul Center.
Okay, right now.
10 a.m. tomorrow.
Okay, fine. So what are we to expect from the event, the big event?
You get away with tips, not just to stay relevant in terms of economy, in terms of career, in terms of businesses. You get networking opportunities.
Okay.
I remember I gave a tip earlier. I wasn't in the business when I joined, when I attended the first one, but the networking opportunity.
So are we getting the race too? Is that item 7?
Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
All right, we can't wait to be there. We're going to
Thank
storm
you.
the place and we're going to come learn. It's for you helping talent and also organizations as well. Thank you so much for joining our show today. We've learned a lot. Thank you. I also have some tips which is going to help me. So, but on a lighter note, let's take one more. In one sentence, what's the most important mind shifts people need to survive and thrive with in today's workplace?
Be innovative and adaptive.
the same message you give to leaders? So on an individual level too.
Every level, individual business owners, you must become comfortable with being innovative, and you must become comfortable with being adaptive. When you have that, when you approach things from that mindset, you are able to navigate whatever situation you find yourself.
Do you have any?
So this happens like every year, right? So what should we expect in the years to come?
We'll keep innovating, and we'll keep adapting. We'll keep getting better, because we're not static in our mentality about, oh, this is what is happening now, this is what we want to communicate now. Communication will continue to differ based on the trends that we see. But one thing you can be sure of, Workplace Outlook has come to stay. It's come to address the future of work, which is not limited to the individual, but every.
Thank you so much for that. And I mean, it's so much packed, so you don't want to miss tomorrow. You can as well, follow on the socials just to get information. Of course, it's a Muslim celebration, but you can do well to attend and, change everything about the workspace, your workforce, and how your approach to work. And this is how we go on a quick break. But on that break, we'll be taking a song. I mentioned earlier today that this song I can really relate. This is Omah Lay, a song You. Just played back in 2020. You don't want to miss this part. We'll go on a break. I'll be right back.